Let's talk about the real Dyad of Star Wars. No, not this. This. Despite all the divisions and fan civil wars, the Star Wars community has finally managed to unite behind The Mandalorian. Love it or hate it, you cannot deny that the sequel trilogy was divisive to the point where for some, the Star Wars fandom that they grew up with had become so unrecognizable. Following the premiere of The Last Jedi, the fandom could not have been even more divided and internally toxic. It was a dark time for Star Wars, and personally, I think a very difficult time for younger and newer fans who are perhaps unfamiliar with the toxicity within the fandom itself. Almost every segment of the fandom, from OT fans to prequel fans to sequel fans, were at war with each other. The rise of Skywalker came and went, and I think at this point a lot of us were just looking forward to get it over with. As someone who does not exclusively hate the sequels, I thought they were just okay, but definitely not the best. But even if you like the sequels, the general sentiment among fans was just to move on. There was just an overall sense of tiredness regarding the state of Star Wars, and frankly, there wasn't a lot of positive outlook on where the franchise was headed either. Many fans who were deeply bitter about the Disney management of Star Wars as a whole simply did not hold much hope that things were going to get better. And if you understand the thematic importance hope is to the Star Wars universe, you could argue that the very soul of the fandom was fading. You only need to look at the state of the YouTube comment sections in major channels to realize that the bitterness was ever so pervasive. Then along came The Mandalorian. Without a doubt, the first season was a smash hit with both general audiences and Star Wars fans. The Mandalorian Season 1 offered a fresh take on what the Star Wars universe could be, and it was taken well by almost every segment of the Star Wars fandom. And behind this show, and key to its success, was the partnership of two men who just strove to deliver a show that fans could enjoy, while staying true to what Star Wars is about. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have a unique relationship that has had a tremendous positive impact on the Star Wars universe and what it could mean moving forward. To understand just how interesting the dynamic between the duo is, we can examine just what each of them bring to the table of Star Wars. For Filoni, it's a no-brainer. Generally considered to be the apprentice to George Lucas, and with a wealth of experience producing Star Wars animated shows, Dave Filoni brings to the table most probably the purest understanding of George Lucas's vision in the Disney era of Star Wars.
What's at stake is really how Anakin's going to turn out, because Qui-Gon is different than the rest of the Jedi, and you get that in the movie, and Qui-Gon is fighting because he knows he's the father that Anakin needs. Because Qui-Gon hasn't given up on the fact that Jedi are supposed to actually care and love, and that that's not a bad thing. And that's why it's the duel of the fates. It's the fate of this child. And depending on how this fight goes, Anakin is his life is gonna be dramatically different. So Qui-Gon loses, of course. So the father figure, because he knew what it meant to take this kid away from his mother when he had an attachment, and he's left with Obi-Wan. But it's everything that the entire 3 films of the prequels hangs on, is that one particular fight.
Jon Favreau, on the other hand, coming off from the hugely successful projects in the MCU and subsequently live-action Disney films, Favreau offers an immense understanding and expertise of live-action filmmaking, which is further enhanced by a constant need to innovate, which is evident in the development of new stagecraft technology.
And now instead of having a green screen that you have to move around in light, which took forever, and that was really the frustration that led to these innovations, which was how could we do that without green screens next time? And so that led to, you have a green stage, you have pre-lit green areas that you could expose, and then it turned into these video walls where you could have.
And together, Favreau and Filoni are the two pillars in which the future of Star Wars is dependent on. As some of us might know, the relationship between the two can be traced back all the way to the Clone Wars show, and the introduction of Pre Vizsla, who was voiced by Favreau himself. In many ways, the dyadic interaction between Favreau and Filoni is a mirror to who George Lucas is as a filmmaker and world builder. Both of them embody key characteristics that Lucas had, especially when it came to the development and creation of Star Wars. Looking back at the original trilogy and prequels, you realize that there was a constant need within George Lucas to bring the Star Wars universe to life through the expansion of lore and innovation of filmmaking technology. And the legacy of these two elements is evident in the development of the Mandalorian show and the creative process behind it. The Mandalorian Season 2 only helps to further this point. Season 2 took Season 1 and smashed it out of the park, largely because it built on the core features of what every good Star Wars movie or show has. The impact from both Filoni and Favreau was crystal clear. It demonstrated a key understanding of what Star Wars truly is, which is a struggle to go above and beyond what is already there, to dare and to hope that the impossible can be accomplished. And perhaps an element that is just equally as important within this partnership is that there is a recognition between both individuals to learn from each other. On Favreau's part, he recognizes the value that Filoni brings to the table in terms of understanding the lore and thematic lessons of Star Wars. Filoni, on the other hand, recognizes that Favreau offers guidance on the skills and technicalities of a live-action show that could not have otherwise been attained by solely making animated shows. This dyadic relationship has determined and set the course for the Star Wars universe in the years to come. Both of them embodied Lucas's understanding of what Star Wars is about on both a creative and technical level, which is why it has succeeded in uniting a fandom where others have failed. More importantly, this dyad has restored hope. Hope that Star Wars can be what it should be, a beacon of hope and escape from a tired reality mired with endless divisions and conflict, that at the end of a long and dreadful day, there is a place where we can all go to dream and to hope, a place where we can go called a galaxy far, far away.